Friends, it's a pleasure to be part of today's very important program. PARDES, this is a special program on FEMA as well as on international taxation. Saturday evening, 6 p.m., we are going to have this. And today we have with us a very special person and a banker with decades of experience, Madam Lalita. She is an
Hello.
ex-banker from Bank of Baroda and especially on forex activities. And also we have with us a very senior chartered accountant, CA Sampath Kumarji, also an insolvency professional and a registered valuer and an expert on indirect taxes and also on foreign trade policy. So, with this very brief prelude, myself and Madam Lalita, we will be dwelling upon the important facets of especially the foreign exchange management deposit regulations 2000. And today's topic will be on the NRO account. So, with this brief prelude, let me hand over the session to Sampath Kumarji.
Thank you, Dr. Raju. I am very glad to be part of this great initiative to share knowledge on this important topic on a continuing series. Various topics have been addressed in this channel. Today being NRO account. Dr. Raju is a chartered accountant, company secretary, cost and management accountant, insolvency professional, and a registered valuer, and a great, passionate, committed trainer on varied varieties of topics. Madam, very nice to see you today. Let us go to the topic directly. I would like to know at the first instance who are all eligible to open this NRO account, Dr. Raju.
Well, to start with, any person who are resident outside India. So it's a very that means people who have gone outside India. I want to just share with you a very simple number. We are a country with 142 crore population, but 3.2 crore population. That means Indians. They are persons resident outside India, and out of this 3.2 crore, 1.35 crore are non-resident Indians, and 1.87 crore are person of Indian origin. That means they don't have Indian passport. NRIs means they have Indian passport, but they resident outside India. And especially, you will be surprised to see in USA itself there are 12 lakh NRIs and 31 lakhs person of Indian origin. That means they are permanently settled there. But if you take same UK, 3.5 lakhs are NRIs and 14 lakhs are PIOs. But the reverse is in UAE. So in Dubai and all, 34 lakhs are NRIs and only 5,000 are person of Indian origin. So these are our target people who can open NRO account in India. There is only one restriction. Bangladesh entities, Pakistan entities, and as well as individuals, when they have to open account in India, they have to get permission, that is prior approval of Reserve Bank of India. And can a foreign national, they are not a person of Indian origin, so that means can they open an NRO account in India? Yes, they can open, because they will be coming for a temporary visit to India. So they are also eligible to open an NRO account. And banks to bank, the minimum balance will vary. And especially public sector banks, they used to have a minimum balance of 1,000 rupees. And maybe Madam Lalita will be the right person to say more about it. And there is only one RBI restriction that such account should not be used for maybe in double quotes, I should say the concept called hawala. So where the money should not be exchanged and that should not be credited to NRO account. So that is the only aspect. And there is an undertaking also they have to go at the time of opening the NRO account, that only permitted credits alone they will put, as well as the permitted debits alone they will actually do the transaction. So that's about the eligibility part.
Thank you, Dr. Raji. You highlighted with the numbers in the profile of these persons resident outside India, PIO, NRI, and all, with respect to various countries. I am very glad to know that foreign nationals are also permitted to open NRO account for their during their stay in India for a temporary period. These are all very nice inputs. Thank you. And madam, is there any various categories of NRO account types, various types, or what is the provisions or the practical aspects with respect to type of NRO accounts, madam?
Yeah, actually, I mean, good evening, one and all. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be associated with Dr. GKR and CA Sampath Kumar, both of them. Well, when we talk of NRO account, as GKR put it very rightly, it's basically the local account of an NRI, right? Then, whereas Sampath Kumarji, like now you were saying about a about foreigner opening an account. It's a news. Yes, a foreign national who is coming to India on a temporary visit of 6 months. For 6 months, this account can be kept alive only for 6 months. After that, it has to be closed and the balance should be remitted out. But practically, there are a lot of problems in that. Bankers come across a lot of problems.
Oh,
That's one thing. Maybe when we talk a little bit in detail about the problems faced by bankers, we can discuss in one of our sessions. And one more thing, a foreigner student can also open an NRO account. Like a foreigner student coming to India to study, like say from Africa or from any other country, Russia, where normally people come here to study. They come to study here, they can have an NRO account. But that account, again, there is no restriction. It will be till their studies are closed, they can have the account with the bank. Maybe when we talk about the credits and debits, we'll discuss in detail about that. Okay. What are the types of accounts the NROs normally can have? I mean, an NRI can have an NRO account, not NROs, I'm sorry. So this NRO account is actually whatever has been earned in India already, or whatever is being earned in India and which is not remitted from abroad in the normal course. Okay, so what do I do with something which is already in India? The SB account, the RD account, the fixed deposit account, or a current account in the name of an individual who becomes an NRI. The moment he becomes an NRI, all this will be restyled as an NRO account. Okay. Now you're asking me about the types of accounts. Can I open a new NRO account? Yes. Because some bankers, no, they simply tell the NRIs, no, existing account can only be converted into NRO account. I can't open a new NRO account. It's not like that. You can definitely open a new NRO account in all these types. I don't know whether, I mean, when we talk of the other credits which are available in the account, which Dr. GKR will be explaining to you, we can discuss this further. Otherwise, who can open? We have discussed now types of accounts we have seen. It's just like a normal local SB account.
thank you, madam. That the nice
But there are
input that
certain restrictions
the
that I
present
just over.
the sorry, madam, the present SB account or RD account or current account, the moment a person gets NRI status, those account becomes NRO account. In addition, if you want to open a separate NRO account, also it is possible.
Yes,
And
yes.
students studying in India and also the foreigners for a limited period of 6 months. These are all very nice inputs to our viewers. Thank you very much. We'll delve upon further into as it goes further. Dr. Raju, I know there are debits and credits in any account. What are the permitted credits in an NRO account permitted as per the Reserve Bank or Foreign Exchange Management Act? Sound. Doctor, you have to unmute. Raju, unmute.
Is
Unmute.
the
Yeah.
what does the credit means? What is the money you can deposit into the NRO account? Well, So remittances from outside India, that means in foreign currency. I repeat that, remittances from outside India in foreign currency. So especially which is freely convertible. And the second one, generally people who are coming to India, they may bring some currency. So if the amount of currency is lesser amount, they can encash it and then they can deposit. That is also possible. Or if the currency is above 5,000 US dollar, they have to give a currency declaration form, and then that money also can be deposited in the NRO account. That is also possible. So one is direct wire transfer from abroad. Okay, so that is possible. So second, when you bring the money to India, that can also be deposited there. So provided you declare the currency. And the third, especially any amount that is due in India, that is what is receivable. So for example, I have a property in Besant Nagar, so I have let it out to some tenant, then I have gone to San Francisco. So I will open an NRO account here and I'll ask my tenant to deposit. So rent, like that money in my investment will be there, from the dividend will be received, that dividend also. Pension, maybe I am retired, I go and settle there, so along with my son or daughter, so my pension also can be credited. Interest from FDs. And most important, I have a property here that is sold, and 4 crores I realize, can I ask the buyer to deposit that money directly to NR account? Yes, possible, very important. And can I remit that money outside India? So that you have to satisfy the income tax provision, so then only you can remit it. So that I will discuss in the coming questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Raju. There are various types, including the capital risks of realization of the sale proceeds of a property, likewise wire transfer. In effect, whatever that is earned in India, that Indian rupee income, that like a simple deposit account in an SB account, what Madam used to highlight about a simple savings bank account, like it can be deposited, whatever that is permitted to be deposited. Madam, though the money is getting accumulated in an NRO account, what are the debits or permitted utilization of the NRO account? For what purposes or what debits are permitted in NRO account, madam?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Like when we talk of credit, accounting is nothing but double entry. There should be a debit, right?
Yes, yes.
So in an NRO account, what else can I use? See, when I say it's a local SB account, any local utilization, anything that I want to do, like, see, because there is a lot of ignorance amongst the people, so it is putting, a lot of unnecessary problems or hurdles for the NRIs to operate the account. No questions asked. It is like, what questions do you ask for a local debit from a local SB account? That's it, period. When it is coming out, the funds are going to be transferred. Like now, let's say, when I say debit, the debit can be from a local NRO, the NRO account to a local SB account. Is it allowed? Yes, allowed. From an NRO account, can I withdraw money? Is it allowed? Yes, allowed. From an NRO account, can I transfer to another NRE? That will come under remittance of funds outside India. That will be discussed by us later. Okay. From an NRO account, can I transfer to an FCNRB? Similarly, that is treated as funds outside India. There are certain restrictions on it. Okay, ma'am. This is my NRO account. Can I transfer to my another NRO account? Yes. This is my NRO account. Can I transfer to your NRO account? That is not right. Because what are the credits allowed in an NRO account? What GKR said now. All local legitimate funds, like rent, like pension, like interest, like dividend, or like sale of property, like dues. So it should have some sort of resemblance to that. It should have that some sort of relevance to that. Otherwise, it is not allowed. So, transferring from Lalita's NRO account to GKR's NRO account, you have to question it. So this is a discussion always comes out in the bankers meets.
Madam, very nicely I came to know about NRO account to fund transferring to another NRO account, and also the NRE account or FCNRB or these type of accounts. Other than that, it is in simple layman's language an operating of a simple SB account in India. Very nice input, and whatever the restrictions and eligibility, both you have capsuled it in a very nice manner. Dr. Raju, you touched upon the capital realization of a sale process in a typical example of a 4 crore being realized. What should I do with the money? Is there any permitted remittances of funds outside from the NRO account to outside India, whether it is permissible in a typical example of a sale proceeds of a property can be taken as an example? What are the inputs on that?
So, step one, opening of account eligibility, we have told. Step two, what can be deposited in that money, we have told. Step three, now can we take this money outside India? That is your question.
Yes.
Now, the simple answer to this question is yes, but there are restrictions. What are
Hmm.
the restrictions? You cannot remit to countries. There are 8 countries to whom you sell the property in India, immovable property in India, that money you cannot remit to these 8 countries. So, who are those? Which are those 8 countries? Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, China, Afghanistan, Iran, Nepal, and Bhutan. So all our neighbors only. So problem is always with the neighbor. So they don't say you can remit it to distant countries, not to these neighbor countries. Second, so, okay, you don't sell the property that is immovable property, but you sell gold, you sell shares, you sell the mutual funds, you sell bonds, and all these financial assets you sell are some money you have given some loan that you have received it back. Can that money I can remit outside India, especially again 4 countries are restricted, not 8. So, which are those 4 countries? Number one, that is again these 4 countries are Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan. That means you can transfer the financial asset remittances to Sri Lanka, China, Afghanistan, and Iran. So, except for this, you can transfer money. That means remittances can be made abroad. Only one more point: if you have to do the remittances abroad, especially you can I do it to an NRO to NRE account, because NRE is a two-way account. NRO is only a one-way account. That means from abroad money can come in and you can, but from NRO how the money can go out? Only the banker, the authorized dealer only will be having the powers to actually remit outside India. But in NRE, you can operate two-way. That is, a account holder can operate two-way. So, from an NRO account, can I transfer to NRE so that account holder itself can do the remittance outside India? Again, there two things have to be done. One, there is an undertaking should be given. The second, certificate from a chartered accountant is required that the tax has been paid. Then only that can be done.
Thank you, Dr. Raju. Madam, I would like to touch upon earlier before Raju's these particular restrictions. Is there any quantum restriction with respect to remittances outside India after the due process of declaration or whatever that through the
Yeah, like
authorized
see, when
dealer
we
or
talk
whatever?
of the remittances from NRO, yeah, sorry, you were saying something. Sorry.
Yeah, please proceed. That's a is there any fund
Yes. So
restriction?
from an NRO account, when we were talking about transferring to an NRE, which Dr. GKR said now, transferring to an NRE is like transferring to outside India, because NRE accounts have got free repatriability. When we talk of NRO accounts, there is a restrictions up to $1 million USD, $1 million, subject to payment of tax, the amount can be remitted outside India. So now I come back to my same example. Can I transfer from NRO to NRE account? Yes, up to USD 1 million in a financial year. 15 CACB is required. We have to come to you guys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Chartered account and certificate is required. Then up to $1 million, can I transfer to FCNRB? Yes, you can transfer in any permitted currency to trade, to keep it in FCNRB. Okay. Can I transfer it outside India? Yes. As with the restrictions which GKR now mentioned, other than those countries, yes, you can remit up to USD 1 million subject to payment of tax.
Very nice. Thank you. Very nice one input for the repatriability under the due process other than these countries with a ceiling of US dollar of $1 million. Very nice input. Madam, I would like to continue with you with another small. Is there any facility of a overdraft or a loan that can be granted on the strength of the deposits lying in NRO account?
Yeah. That's a good question, actually. See, it is very simple, sir. Banking is same. Acceptance of deposits for the purpose of lending and investments. So when the customer has given his money, an NRA has given his money, be it an NRE account or NRO account, the provision of taking loan is not restricted. Banking is very simple. We are only making it more complicated. So can an NRA take a loan? Yes. On the NRO deposit? Yes. What are the conditions? Simple condition. Take a loan credit to the SB NRO account. Loan formalities. What are the loan formalities? What are the rate of interest? It normally differs from bank to bank. They have a plus some percentage, 1% or 1.5% over the FD rate. FD rate is similar to the local deposit rate only. So on that, whatever is a loan amount given, that amount will be credited to the SB NRO account of the NRI. That's all. That's the only condition.
So is a simple understanding as a person dealing with the bank. It is like my Indian fixed deposits.
Yes.
I take a lien noted by the bankers and taking it. It's a simple process, but through the
Yeah.
NRO account. As a
Through the
layman's
NRO
understanding,
account only.
thank
Yes.
you very much. Very nice. Very easy process. It's a very good vital input. Dr. Raju, now we have been talking about those residents of India staying outside the country or foreign national are permitted to open the account. Moment may change, may get the status. Madam rightly pointed out that all the Indian accounts, whatever be the recurring deposit or SB account, it gets the status of an NRO account. Moment I get an NRI status. Sometimes I come back, my job or whatever reasons, I loses my residential status. What is the impact on the NRO accounts?
It is very simple. Actually, if you don't have a bank account, then the question of opening a new account, a new NRO account arises. If you were in India right from your birth and you have a bank account in any of the Indian banks or private banks, and you have gone abroad for employment or for business purpose or for visit, you don't know when you will come back. So you become non-resident. Then the existing savings account or existing account in India, which is a resident account, have to be designated as a non-resident ordinary account. I repeat the word called designated. That means you have to inform your banker. So that means your existing account itself will be designated as an NRO account. Simple. And not only once you do that, all your other accounts, even your FD account, everything will become a what do you call it, as a deposit account also will be treated as an NRO account. You were asking this question to madam, what are the different types? So even a
Hmm.
deposit account will become NRO account. Your recurring
Oh,
account will become an NRO account. Savings account will become an NRO account. Current account also will become an NRO account. Now, only one point I need to clarify here, that the cities, when you go to Nepal and Bhutan, Nepal and Bhutan alone, if I'm a resident outside India, I'm in Nepal, I'm in Bhutan, then the designation of your resident account to non-resident ordinary account is not required. It will continue as a Indian account only. Now, people are there in outside India. They have an NRO account. They were non-resident. They come back to India for permanently to settle in India. So
hmm.
they want to come back and settle here. Then
TR,
what
transfer
to
residence,
their
transfer
NRO
of
account?
residence.
Then again redesignated. That's all. So go to the core banking system redesignate the NRO account to the resident account. That is the only thing. And those who are coming as a temporary visit, so they will come here, stay here for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. They will only come as a visit to see their parents and relatives, and then again they go back. Then the redesignation of NRO account to resident doesn't matter. But here one very important point. If I am in India and at that time I have taken a loan, especially I've taken a housing loan or I have taken a personal loan and I have been regularly paying. And for business purpose or employment purpose, I go abroad, but from that salary or from that income, I have been repaying. And at that time, when I inform the banker, so now I've gone abroad, but regularly I'm paying. That is the time banker has to, that is authorized dealer or the banker, the Foreign Exchange Management Deposit Regulation 2000, Reserve Bank of India has given that prerogative, the discretion to the banker based on the character, the financial character of that borrower. The banker can decide to continue the loan or OD facility, or they can pressure, no, you have to pay today itself. That stand the banker can take any point of time.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Doctor. How the status gets the benefit of getting converting the ordinary account to NRO account, how it goes back, and the status comes back by a declaration with a particular rider with respect to the continuing loans or whatever. Very nicely conveyed the message. Madam, whether this NRO account can be operated by a power of attorney holder in India on behalf of the account holder?
Yeah,
Voice
power of
control.
attorney holders can open the. That's what what's your question? Can you repeat, please?
Whether PA holder can operate the account of the NRO in
Yeah,
India.
yeah, yeah, yeah. See, this is only to facilitate the feasibility in the operations, right?
Oh,
NRO accounts, like NRIs, can appoint a power of attorney, can give a power of attorney to somebody, appoint him as a POA holder to operate the accounts in India, right? So what can they do? They can allow the operations, but only thing is what? They can use it only for the local payments and remittances to this NRI only. The debits in the account can be used for local payments, and the remittances can go. The remittances can go to the non-residents account only, the NRI's account only.
okay.
So it
That-
cannot be used for anything else.
So the power of attorney POA can be executed and operated with this particular observation of the NRI debits only
This is
permitted.
only in the interest of the NRI,
Yes, yes.
whatever can be done. Yes.
That's nice. That's nice. Dr. Raju, NRO account is there, PA holder with all the operations, remittance, everything is there. Sometimes, very extreme situation, the account holder, NRO account holder passes away. What is the fate of the account?
Now, this is where the joint holders are very important.
Oh,
If the joint holder is a non-resident, that is a nominee, okay, we can call nominee or a joint holder. If joint holder is there, it's very important. So, if both the joint holders are normally NRE account, if joint holders are there, both should be non-resident. But NRO account purpose is one will be a non-resident, another will be a resident. So
oh,
naturally, on the death, it will be redesignated as a what you call it as a resident account, uh, or if nominee is there, it is not a joint account, and the nominee is a non-resident, then the money proceeds whatever is there in NRO account will be credited to the non-resident's NRO account. If the or the nominee is actually a resident, the amount in NRO account will be credited to the resident account of that nominee. If it is a joint account, so it will be converted. The status will be converted to the resident accounts because one
so
of
there
the
is a,
account
there
holder will
is
be
a, Dr. Raju, sorry, there is a distinction between a joint account status and that of a nominee account
nominee
status.
status. Very
And
important.
also the residence of the nominee person, whether he is in India or abroad, depending on
Um,
that, the treatment varies. Correct?
Correct.
Thank you, Dr. Raju. Madam, I would like to know students are going abroad. students are coming to India, what are the facilities or the benefits available to student population with respect to NRO accounts, madam?
Actually, one basic important the status change is when a student goes abroad for higher studies, that student also becomes an NRI. So
Yes,
he is treated, the student, he or she is treated on par with a non-resident Indian and
correct,
a person of Indian origin as far as the banking, account opening, transactions are concerned.
correct.
They can open an NRE account as well as an NRO account. But NRE account, why do they require? They require because the money, if they are, if at all they are sending any money from abroad, from their part-time jobs or anything, it's
Yeah,
required. But otherwise, normally they require an NRO account only. See, because there are a lot of consequences if you allow a student to open an NRE account, right? I don't want to really, this is not the forum. So I don't want to discuss on that. So when we talk of the NRO account, we restrict our talks to NRO only. Yes, they can open an account. Then why it is required? Their parents can transfer to that account, and the money can be remitted outside also. Or what the parents can do, they can remit directly under LRS, Liberalized Remittance Scheme, right? So they can transfer under LRS to the NRO account of the student. From there also the money can go out or they can remit directly. So as far as the student is concerned, the utilization of an SB account in India is mainly for the purpose of repayment of loan, educational loan. So that educational loan amount, to which account shall I debit? They will be debiting the joint account the student is having with the father, right? Or the single account the student is having.
as
So whenever the local credit comes to that account, let's talk only about NRO account that can be transferred to the loan account, the amount. Or for maintenance of the student, any money has to be remitted that can go from that account.
very nice, madam. In continuation of that, NRO account holder, whether he is entitled to get a credit card, international credit card based on the strength of the financial
Yeah,
strength of the.
it is in the normal banking facility extended to the NRI for as far as the international credit card is concerned. Whatever is the limit given there, up to that, it can be issued under NRO account. To the debit of NRO account, the payment can be settled. Not an issue.
So he's entitled to get the international credit card based on the strength of the financial
Yeah, yeah,
strength of
yeah.
the NRO. Thank you, very
Yes,
nice.
yes.
Doctor, we have Dr. Raji, we have covered various aspects and what are the income tax implications of an NRO?
Well, this point I have already mentioned that if on sale of an immovable property, if the money can be credited to the NRO account, yes. Can the money be remitted outside India? Yes. There you have to comply with the income tax provision. Income Tax Act, they have brought a circular. The CBDT has brought a circular number 10 bar 2002. It is dated 9th October 2002. So it is a very big circular where they made it very clear that the authorized dealer has to comply with the two very important things. Number one, they have to get an undertaking from the remitter, that is the account holder, that I will comply with the tax laws. These amount has been, what is the source of this money? So what are the documents you will supporting that particular information? All this he has to attach. So it is an undertaking first. And this undertaking has to be attached with the certificate of a chartered accountant. So if he has bought a property flat for 10 lakhs, he has sold for 1 crore, then the gain 90 lakhs on the 20% long-term capital gains will be 18 lakhs. So the tax has to be paid and that has to be confirmed by a chartered accountant. So that CA certificate along with the undertaking, if it is submitted to the banker, then the banker can remit it outside India. So the authorized dealer has the authority to remit outside India from the NRO account. So it is not that it is not two-way. Money can be deposited from India, money can be deposited. From abroad, money can be deposited. But the money from the NRO account, if it has to go outside India, this compliance is mandated. Without this compliance, AD will not remit outside India. Of course, that 8 countries are prohibited, and 4 countries with respect to the financial assets are prohibited. So that even this undertaking and the certificate chalega nahi.
Dr. Raju, you are very clearly highlighting NRE account is a two-way account operating process, whereas NRO account is generally one way with a due process in place with respect to the undertaking, certificate, permitted purposes. To that extent, it is two-way. Correct, Dr. Raju?
Correct, absolutely
With
correct.
respect to your example, you have highlighted about the IT compliances with respect. I may be earning as NRO account holder in India, interest, rent, other things. Normal provisions, I think that is applicable as an income tax complaint. Am I right, Dr. Raju?
Absolutely.
Now, you told about the capital remittance under the permission of the due NRO to foreign remittance. Is there any quantum restriction in remitting back, or entire process can be sale process after the income tax or a due process can be remitted back to
Yes,
foreign country?
there is a quantum. Per annum, Madam was referring about LRS, Liberalized Remittance Scheme. There, the quantum is per annum 2.5 lakh US dollar, meaning the limit is up to 2 crore INR. And for NRO, per annum, you can remit 1 million US dollar. So that means 4 times of LRS. 4 times of LRS means maximum 8 crore INR can be remitted outside India for one NRO.
So NRO account is maximum is 1 million US dollar, whereas for the other purposes it is 250,000 US dollars. Madam, am I
No,
correct?
nahi. What Dr. GKR is telling is 250,000 US dollar is for LRS. That's
Yeah.
different. That's for resident Indians.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So we'll not,
Thank
that's for example, he said.
you.
That
Okay.
is 250 for a resident, for a non-resident Indian, four
So four
times of
times,
it
four times speaker.
Four
That's
is
nice.
times.
I
it
take the
in
point.
one NRO account.
One
Thank you
NRO.
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you and I'm very so happy today. We had started with the NRO account. We'll continue with this series. It's a very nice deliberation so long as a layman like me understanding more about this NRO account from Madam Lalita and also the experienced 3.5 4 decades experience in banking, that too in forex. Also Dr. Raju's minute analysis of the provision with respect to punch and remarks. Thank you very much, Dr. Raju, you want to say any concluding remarks?
Yes.
Madam,
I
you want to
must
say?
I must thank Madam Lalita and also CS Sambat Kumar ji for this wonderful
My
session.
pleasure.
Pardes, it's a series, it's a webinar series on Foreign Exchange Management Act as well as on international taxation. So it is an initiative, a joint initiative of all three of us. So all the viewers who have been watching this live and also who will be watching offline also. So requesting all of you to extend your support for this series in the days to come. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.
Madam,
Thank
anything
you.
you want to say, madam?
Thank you. It's just a
I
thanks.
would like to
Big
say
thanks.
to capsule and grasp this much of knowledge, you would have taken at least hours together. It has been very nicely capsuled and analyzed by both the experienced professional in this arena. Thank you very much, Dr. Raju. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Madam Lalita. Thank you. Bye.